On the bright but tense Tuesday morning, the air inside the Sunrise Panel studio buzzed like an electric wire. The cameras were warming up, the audience murmured with excitement, and the lights burned so hot you could almost feel them from across the room. Into that heat walked Marcus Hale, the famously intense actor known for roles that demanded everything from him physically, mentally, emotionally. He had come to the show to promote his newest film, expecting a normal daytime chat. But nothing about what happened that morning would ever be called normal again. Sitting in her usual seat was Joy Behar, the outspoken panel host who had made a reputation out of interrupting guests, digging up their past interviews, and trying to push them into corners they didn't want to be in. She had that familiar sharp look in her eyes, the one viewers recognized instantly. It meant she had done her homework and was prepared to challenge whatever Marcus said, whether it made sense or not. Her co-hosts Samara, Celine, and Cara were already sensing trouble before the red light on the camera even blinked on. "So, Marcus," Joy began with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, "let's talk about your comments on staying in character during filming. You know, the whole method acting thing. You've said some pretty wild stuff about how far actors should go. Don't you think that's just a fancy excuse for acting badly?" Marcus leaned back a little, studying her the way a chess player studies the board before making a move. His eyes were steady, his voice calm and low as he answered after a pause long enough to make everyone hold their breath. "Well, Joya," he said, "I think commitment to a role and acting badly are two different things. Though maybe you don't see the difference. Method acting requires discipline, research, and respect. It's not about tantrums or poor behavior, which seems to be what you're suggesting." The other hosts shifted in their chairs. This wasn't the usual easy chat where a celebrity answered three simple questions and then plugged a movie. Marcus had pushed back, politely but distinctly. The tone of the room shifted instantly. "Oh please," Joy shot back, rolling her eyes slightly. "We all know actors who say they're in character just to justify being dramatic. Isn't it fair to say some of this method stuff is just pretentious nonsense?" "Pretentious nonsense?" Marcus repeated, his tone slow and sharp. Interesting choice of words from someone who gives strong opinions about an art form they haven't practiced. "What's your background in real performance work, Joya? What makes you so sure you can judge techniques that actors have used successfully for decades?" Silence tightened around the room. Joya's smile cracked just a little. "I've been in this industry more than 20 years, she snapped. "I think I know enough to tell when someone's being dramatic." "20 years of what exactly?" Marcus asked, and the question landed with more force because he sounded genuinely curious. 20 years of sitting at a table giving commentary? You've done some comedy bits, some hosting, but you've never had to completely transform yourself for a role, have you? Mara tried to step in. "Okay, maybe we can." But Joy cut her off immediately, her pride already bleeding from the wound. "I don't have to climb a mountain to know it's tall, Marcus. And I don't have to be a method actor to spot when someone's hiding behind a technique." "That's actually a good analogy," Marcus said with a small, cold smile. "But you would need to understand climbing before criticizing climbing techniques. You'd need to know rope work, weather patterns, safety systems. You'd need experience, not assumptions." "Are you saying I can't have opinions?" Joy snapped. "Not at all," Marcus replied smoothly. "You can have any opinion you want. But there's a difference between having an opinion and making definitive claims about a craft you've never practiced. You know that, don't you?" The unease around the table thickened. Celine's fingers tapped nervously on her note cards. "Oh, give me a break," Joy said. "You're proving my point. All this serious talk, all this need to sound deep, that's exactly what I mean by pretentious." Marcus tilted his head. "If answering your questions honestly feels pretentious to you, Joy, maybe that says something about how comfortable you are with serious conversation." That line froze the entire studio. Joy's mouth opened but no sound came out, and the audience sat utterly still. "You asked me about method acting," Marcus continued levelly. "I responded. You challenged me without offering real understanding. You called my explanation pretentious. And now you're upset because I pointed out your dismissal of the topic. When exactly have I been anything but calm and direct?" Joy fumbled for a comeback but failed. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. "I'm just trying to have a normal talk." "Are you?" Marcus asked softly. "From where I sit, You wanted to push a narrative. You decided method acting was silly. And when I didn't agree, you stopped listening. That's not a conversation. That's you reading a script. The words stung. They were too accurate. You're twisting my words, Joy insisted weakly. Actually, Marcus said, your exact words were that method acting is a pretentious nonsense and that actors use it to behave badly. That's a pretty sweeping claim. Should we replay it? Her breath hitched. The threat of replaying her own words had landed. You're being difficult on purpose, she said. Using exact language isn't being difficult, Marcus replied. It's communication. If clear words bother you, maybe hosting isn't the right field. The whole panel gasped. How dare you say I don't belong here? Joy nearly shouted. I've been successful for 2 decades. Have you, though? Marcus asked quietly. Is success interrupting guests, asking loaded questions, starting conflict instead of real conversation? Is that the success you mean? Her face flushed deeper. I ask tough questions because I'm a journalist, she snapped. A journalist, Marcus repeated. And one word carried more criticism than a whole speech. When was the last time you broke a real story? Did investigative reporting? Your job here is commentary. That's fine, but it's not journalism. Whoever controlled the cameras had probably never been more thrilled, capturing every shift in her expression. This is my show, Joy said. I don't have to sit here and listen to you talk down to me. Actually, Marcus said calmly, you invited me. I came to discuss my work. You tried to turn it into a cheap fight. Now you're upset because I'm not behaving the way you expected. Maybe the problem isn't me. Joy looked genuinely shaken now. Her breathing was uneven, her face pale. This is unbelievable, she whispered. What is? Marcus asked. That someone disagreed with you? That someone asked you to back up your claims? That someone spoke plainly? Her silence said everything. Joy, Marcus continued gently, you wanted drama, not understanding. You wanted conflict, not discussion. But that isn't communication. That's bullying. The word hit her like a physical strike. I am not a bully, she said, but even she sounded unsure. Aren't you? He asked softly. If someone behaved the way you do with interruptions, dismissals, personal attacks, or what would you call it? Tears formed in her eyes now. Her armor cracked. I have to be tough, she whispered. If I'm not the tough one, what do I bring? What's my worth here? Marcus's voice softened genuinely. Your worth isn't in being harsh. It's in being curious. In asking questions that matter. In letting people talk without attacking them. But you can't do that if you treat every conversation like a fight. Her tears slipped down her cheek. She didn't wipe them away. You don't understand what I've had to deal with, she said shakily. You don't know how hard this job is. No, Marcus said. I don't, and I'm not dismissing your struggle. But hardship shouldn't be a reason to hurt others. It should be a reason to do better. Joy stared at him, lost, shaken, stripped of all her practiced confidence. And the studio was silent, so silent it felt like the entire world had stopped to watch her break.